If you could have one complete run of all time, what would it be? This is from Stacy Gallagher. Fantastic Four by Lee and Kirby. As hard as I am on Lee and stuff like that and stuff, that's Kirby. To me, Kirby, that was a Kirby book, and Lee helped filter Kirby and paste it and stuff. He just took a lot of credit that he shouldn't have took that for Kirby's contributions. To me, that's the perfect comic book run. It really is. Those, oh, it's so good. And what are the comic ages are your... And also, which comic ages are your best in order? I'm going to go Bronze Age. I'm going to go Silver Age. I'm going to go Copper Age around the 80s. And then I'm going to go Golden Age. And then whatever the 2000s were. And I'm saying what we're in now is kind of the worst. To me, I think this should be the Indie Age. I think some of the best work is coming out of everybody but the big two. So... Alright, what's the one character... This is Mike Humple. What is the one character that needs to stop being used? My first thing is to say, go off and say Booster Gold, man. That's just a waste, man. But, yeah, I'm sticking to Booster Gold. How can they freaking kill Ted Cord Blue Beetle and keep Booster Gold around? Man, he brought Blue Beetle so far down. Alright, that's that. So let's go on to the other community page. Robert Allen Kaufman. I know you read whole series. You sometimes prefer a one-shot or a mini-series. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've got tons of miniseries. I'm talking like maybe two comic book boxes worth. I got a whole shelf. You can go back and look at my comic book collection videos I made a few weeks ago. And then you have these amazing one-shots. Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe. The Punisher The End. The thing about one-shots is that they can, a lot of them end up being Elseworld stories. So they can take the characters different places. They can be really well done, and they're a contained read. And sometimes, you don't need to drag out, and you'll get that burnout from sticking just to Marvel or just to DC or keeping up with the continuity and stuff. I enjoy doing that stuff like that, but sometimes you just need to let your brain take a break and read just one complete story. Absolutely love them. Okay? And I do prefer them. And honestly, I would prefer a really good one-shot than a miniseries, because a lot of these DC 52 books and a lot of these Marvel books, the way they're writing them now, it could be, I've seen, it used to be 3 issues. Well, that could have been 1 issue. And now we're up to like 5 issues, could have been 1 issue. The pacing kills me, You can get across the story without dragging it out, The comics are about capturing a moment of action and then having it slow down just enough to get to know your characters and stuff, there's the whole psychology that's getting lost. How about this is from Arthur Cyrus Alderwood. How about what are your top 5 comic book series that were never well known? Go through these real quick. I can do this. This is my bread and butter, man. Let me make sure I can hold these up, make sure we're seeing them. This is my bread and butter, man. So basically what happens is that, and I've been talking a long time, what happens is that that's my bread and butter. I could do this tomorrow and have 5 different ones, so I'm just going to kind of get to it here. That's what I thought. Alright, there's a series that came out from Homage Comics, Image, and then they had 2 other books come out after it ended. Leave It to Chance by James Robinson and Paul Smith. It's very cool. Little girl, magic based, full of wizards and this world where it's formed around wizards and stuff. It's kind of got like this mystical thing. Feels like it's got a touch of Johnny Quest in a way. Monsters and stuff and warlocks, but it's just a whole created little world here and stuff like that. I think there's only like 13 of them. Great stuff. Alright, Scud, the Disposable Assassin. That's just a fun, different kind of read. Alright. 3 issues of Regulators. This is kind of like Kurt Busiek came in, grabbed some John Valentino villains, and he kind of did the thing like with Marvels and with Ashford City, where you see the point of view, and the whole series was on the villains, the point of view of the villains, how they live their daily life, how they live in their house, How does a creature who's constantly fire, how does he have furniture, and how does he eat? You know, answer stuff like that. Steve Ogden sent this to me, The Silent Invasion. It's a period piece with some wacky artwork about paranoia, the Red Scare, the UFOs. Just great stuff. Spies, Russian spies. Not 60s now, 50s, you know. Eagle Comics, Stainless Steel Rat. I wouldn't read these unless you're a fan of the book series because they are a little bit dated when it comes to sci-fi. And then the big two, these are the ones I will kind of hype. You know, I got some more here, like Omega and Gimme Liberty. But anyway, the big two. These Billy the Kid books by Eric Powell through Dark Horse. Billy the Kid and the Timely Oddities. These are mini-series that are kind of like a set. Yeah, and then the Old-Timey Oddities. It's kind of like Billy the Kid meets the movie Freaks that came out in the 30s with all the deformed people and stuff like that. And he's got a line down it. Now he's an old, I mean, he's an authentic cowboy, man. He spits cusses. He's not that smart, book smart. And when he takes down the first bad guy, you know, he played on the guy's arrogance. After he outplanned and outsmarted the guy, he looked at him and said, "The way I beat you is because people like you don't know the difference between ignorance and stupid." And let me tell you something. I was like, you got him. All right. I'm going to get close to wrapping this up. See what the next question is. What's it going to take for you to get some regular comics? This is from Agent 42Q. Mostly Ninja Turtles. What is it going to take? Maybe the talent that's on the books? I don't know. Throw me some suggestions there, Agent 42Q. Because I know you're half joking. So, all right. I love Ninja Turtles, man. I've got some first comics that's reprints like the first run of the books and stuff, going back to their origin, fighting the ninjas. I love the line where he's like, then some ninja says something like, "What are you?" And I don't know. He says something like, "I bleed and so do you," and then he cuts his head off or something. I mean, there's some really good stuff in there. Philip Marzette, if you could write a comic book series for Marvel or DC or any other company, what would it be and why? Who's your least and good artist and my least favorite artist? And Liefeld doesn't count. Okay, first part of what he's asking there is what comic book series for Marvel, DC, or any other company would you write? All right, this is going to kind of surprise you because I could answer this different tomorrow. I would actually like to go back and maybe it would have maybe a bit of a 80s feel to it, or I mean not an 80s feel, but it's a Legion of the Superheroes book. But basically what it's going to be Brainiac 5 as a child with his little Prody. And it's the story of a boy genius traveling the universe, getting into mixed up adventures, and with little Prody, his shape-shifting pet. You know, he's got his little, he'd be like it wouldn't be and seriously, man, it wouldn't be in the vein of Tiny Titans or something like that. This would be a serious endeavor, because Brainiac 5 is not, he comes from a race of sentient computers, are basically what they are, so he's also got that legacy of being from a Superman villain and stuff like that, so related to the original Brainiac and stuff like that. So yeah, it'd be a little sci-fi story about a little boy computer with green skin, blonde hair, purple outfit, invisible belt, with his little gooey, looks like a giant piece of gum, shape-shifting pet. There you go. Okay, what else here? Your favorite artist? My favorite artist is George Perez. I don't think I need to go on there. My least favorite is a guy who I haven't seen work in a while. I was able to grab these off the shelf. I know him from Justice League of America, the Detroit years, and Justice League Detroit, and I knew him from Suicide Squad. Man, his name was Luke McDonald, and I could not stand his stuff. Man, it was bland, it was blocky, rigid. I don't know what this guy was doing. It's just so bland. I'm not big on detail. I'm not really impressed with the storytelling. The layouts made no sense to me. The way everybody was all spaced out and they were talking to each other, even though they were that far apart. Just awful stuff. I just didn't understand it. I'm like, how's this guy getting work? How's he on? You know, and I can go through stuff and find panels and stuff. Just him. And and I thought he was even worse on Suicide Squad. That stuff ended up being so little blocky, and the heads were too big, and I don't know what he was doing. You know. Okay, Curtis Joyce, how do you cram all that gram in golden grams? I think they got elves, and they just don't tell anybody. If you could take one comic from Captain Strangelife's collection, what would it be? That's from Anthony Johnson out there. Curtis and Anthony are both from back home. So, you know, great to hear from you guys. It'd be Harvey Comics Alarming Tales #1, you know. And then Curtis Joyce, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Man, I would love to have something witty to say, but nah, not a fan. Not a fan. Now, a Reese cup I've done some stupid stuff for, and Oreos, good God, I've moved furniture. Alright, now we're going to go to the Twitter, see if I can find some tweets here, because I know I had a few on there. Oh, they're not, oh, here we go. I'm going to say they're not awesome. James Crowder, big old shout out to you. He says 3 years awesome. Big congratulations from Sleepy Reader. Are there comics you've had a change of heart about, either for or against over the years, and congrats? Amazing. There are. Oh, creators, comics or creators. Okay, with comics, I tell you what, a lot of that 70s Kirby DC stuff that I thought was kind of hokey. I loved the artwork, but I was like, what he was doing. A lot of that stuff was really ahead of its time. Now, this was in the Bronze Age in the 70s. And I'm talking about 2001: A Space Odyssey, big time on that one. And I'm still not going to say it's a classic, man, but it's. I've read a few issues now that I'm older and stuff, and I get it, and I really enjoy what he's doing. Devil Dinosaur, another one, and I'm sure there's more. Now, as far as creators go, there's two over the years that I've got to where I can't stand, and then there's one. You know, we're going to go back to Jack Kirby again. I'm really Kirby centric here. Jack Kirby's artwork when I was a kid, you know, OMAC #1, The Losers with the demons and stuff. Adam Warlock, when he was known as him, that cocoon on the cover, like Fantastic Four, 67, 68. Kirby scared the piss out of me as a kid. I mean, it was a female robot, but to me, it looked like somebody had cut this woman up and stuck her in a block of cement, and OMAC was throwing her. And we're talking when I was 4, 5, and 6, his stuff just freaked me out. Now I'm like a big Kirby nut. That's the big one. And then the guy who, over the years, I kind of really got to where I couldn't look at his work, and it really bothers me. I mean, I know it's just a matter of opinion. This isn't him in general, but Mike Grell. I loved looking at those Mike Grell books of Warlord when I was a kid, and those covers. And man, made just some phenomenal covers and stuff. But by the time the Longbow Hunters came out, and I got to see some of what did he do? Grimjack? Was that him? Oh, I can't believe I went blank. I saw some of his indie stuff. And then by the time we got to Image with Shaman Tears, it's like the proportions were bad. It just got worse and worse. I don't know if it was age and stuff that was going on with him. You know, I don't know. But then I went back and looked at his OMAX, his Warlord stuff again and I was just like, oh my God, this is awful. I mean, his stuff's just really, maybe he's self-taught or something. I hate saying that. He's a better artist than I am, in my opinion, you know. And the other one is Dan Jurgens. I just got to the point I can't stand Dan Jurgens, man. By the time that he got onto the Solar books, when Acclaim had bought Valiant, and he did his first Solar book, he was trying to be clever. And all of a sudden I couldn't stand his artwork. Everything was big and and then he came out with the Superman costume, Superman red and blue. I just had enough. Then he took over Justice League, and he brought out Bloodstone. If you go back and look at these things, I can't stand it. Same costume design as Superman, red and blue, but it's white with a cape and a jewel. And then he did some pretty good stuff. I think it was on Thor. So, but yeah, Dan Jurgens and Mike Grell. So, and then the last one here. Is this a topless video? Or question 2, what's your favorite run of The Question? My favorite run of The Question is actually the original Charlton issues that Ditko did. He's got an issue of The Question from, I can't remember if the late 80s, early 90s that Denny O'Neil did, where I think it's issue 17. I got 2 or 3 of them. but he reads the Watchmen, sees Rorschach, dreams that he meets him, and then in real life he tries to act like Rorschach in the books, and ends up getting his ass beat, and he almost dies in the snow just like Rorschach did in Watchmen. A lot of people didn't catch at the end how he was in the snow. I caught it the third time I read it. Oh, kind of saying I know Denny O'Neil's done something a bit more here. I really do enjoy those Charlton issues of the Question. And Question, if I'm remembering right, I'm doing this by memory, he didn't really have his own book. He was part of anthology series where he popped up here and there. But yeah, those first issues. And I also like that, for some reason, when I think of those issues of the Question with Charlton, my mind goes to the original Creeper issues too. And the freaking Question that was on the Justice League cartoons, phenomenal. That's probably my favorite version of the Question, is what they did in those Justice League cartoons with in the Bruce Timm universe there. Alright guys, so that's it. This has run pretty long. I hope you guys made it to the end. And here's going for many more years, and hopefully, the next 300 videos, guys. So thanks a lot, and catch you later.